What the fuck is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. I know, for real. Huh? Welcome back to another episode of Los Brownies Podcast. My name is Cheeto.
My name is Joanna.
And I'm Jessie.
And this is...
Los
Brown.
And we are...
Oh,
Yeah.
This is
Los Brownies Show.
Podcast. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I don't mind. I don't mind. As long as you're listening and you're subscribed, nothing really matters, right? Okay, so today's episode, you guys. No, stop it. Let's catch up a little bit.
yeah.
I want to know if there's anything that you guys went through this week. I want to know if there's anything that you guys maybe saw, anything outstanding this week. Please catch me up.
Yeah.
I saw something wonderful.
Oh, what
What'd you
happened?
see?
I saw it on TikTok, of
Oh,
course,
tell
of
us.
course.
Whoa.
So
The
I saw
source of all information.
my brain is just 99.9% TikTok. Anyway, so I saw a video of a girl, and she was basically, I'll just tell you guys. You come to your own conclusions.
Oh, man.
But this is what they said.
What?
Men can't believe women are single by choice
I love that.
because men aren't single by choice.
I love that and I live by that, and I think that's absolutely true.
Yes.
Men can't believe it, like, because every time I tell as a single lady myself,
Okay.
Yeah.
By choice?
by 100% by choice.
Right. It's the whole like you know what, you guys, I'm single just because I'm not ready to deal with the drama.
No, because I have male friends.
Not the quadruple chin or that pinche the fifth back row that you have.
No, that's,
Wow. You know
that's
what? It's
beside the
not
point.
all about looks, Gilbert.
not
That's
all
true.
about
That's
me.
true.
You're one to say.
Because
real.
I
I'm
have
just
a lot of male friends who are kind of low-key desperate to find someone. Like, they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
been like, oh, I'm just such a nice guy and I can't win, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're very actively looking for a partner.
That's gross. If you actively say, I'm a nice
You
guy.
beat me to it. I was gonna say I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about hearing people have to describe themselves like that.
Like,
If
yeah,
you know you're a
nice
nice person,
guy.
you're a nice person. You don't really
You don't have to flaunt
You don't
it. You
have
don't
to
have to
say it.
advertise it
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's true. And like, I tell people that I've been single for a really long time and I want to be single. Because I've had opportunities where I could have entered relationships, but I chose not to because who fucking has time for that? And so I always get told like, oh, you're going to be like a
single cat lady?
you're going to be an old lady in your own house with your own car and you're going to have 2 cats. And
That
I'm
sounds
like,
great.
That sounds
That's
pretty
awesome.
I'm like, that sounds pretty.
But-
You have a high dreams of me, sir.
but I think I feel like you have to también mention que yes, single by choice, and you've had opportunities to go into relationships.
Yeah.
Pero those people that you probably had opportunities to go into relationships with, I bet they were weird though.
Yeah,
which
they
is
why
why you chose not to.
Yeah,
right?
they were like 2 out of 10. Not
Exactly.
physically how they look, because I don't care.
Yeah.
You ain't got much option, baby
'Cause
girl.
I-
You
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, what can I say? I'm not Miss Universe, unfortunately. So that's out of the question for me. But no, I like that quote.
yeah.
I stand by it, and I think it's true.
Yeah.
but-
I heard that and I was like,
Damn,
I-
you
Yon
fucking-
just shook it.
I just deleted
Wait,
it.
no, you just deleted it. Okay, so
Oh, dude.
the what is okay? Give me a like a recap of it. Oh, you can do that.
Okay,
Oh,
got
shit,
it.
damn.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
We got it back, you
A
guys.
quick FYP: if you delete something on accident on your phone, all you
Just
gotta do
jerk
is
your phone off
give it a
it.
little jerk. Jerk that little mofo. Can you
All
say
right.
that?
So the quote is, men can't believe women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
Okay. Now, as a man, my perspective on that.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Just kidding. Just
I think that's true, and I, for the most part, okay. I don't know. Would it be ignorant to be like, well, my experience has been different? Is that ignorant?
No,
Or
that's
is
your
it-
experience.
That's your experience. Yeah.
I mean, you are ignorant in general, but,
Well,
but it's just your
no, I
experience.
think that's true. I do think that's true. I've always said que if you go to a club,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a guy that goes to a club alone versus a girl that goes to a club alone, I think the girl is in charge of who she's going to dance with. The guy is not in charge of who he's going to dance with.
Yeah.
It's up to the girl to decide who she's going to dance with. I kind of see it like that. Do you see what I mean?
No, that's true.
I think I see it like that.
Yeah, because I know a lot of men who maybe don't want to have children nowadays, which is the most modernized version of it.
Yeah.
But they're all still in the future actively pursuing or in their end goal to eventually achieve to have a spouse. And that's not a lot of the end goal for a lot of women nowadays. So shout out.
For a reason too. If you're thinking like why a woman doesn't want to have kids, I mean, think about like everything that's happened in history, right? Think about here in the States, right? In the 50s and the 60s, women were dying at like 40 years old, 30 years old. And that was old for women. Why? Because they were going through all this crazy depression, taking care of the kids, not being able to work, not being able to go outside.
You don't have to go back to the 40s. Go back a few years ago.
Go
back right now when they're trying to ban all these abortion laws.
Damn.
Dude, not only that,
it's
but
it's
like
that kind of episode. You guys.
Yeah. Not only that, but like birth control.
Yeah.
It's still like in the medical field, they believe that women don't have any sort of feeling or sensation in their cervix, which is further from the truth.
That's insane to me.
It's insane.
For every vato listening right now.
And women have birth control, the IUD.
IUD, yeah.
Yes, the IUD is a birth control. It's a copper metal that is inserted into your
Cervix.
urethra. Into your urethra.
I don't get that.
A urethra?
No, I don't get that. This is such a guy thing of me, huh? I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. You're speaking a whole different language.
Do you know what a urethra is?
And I don't know what that
You
is.
have one.
The pee hole, like the penis
It's like
hole.
where your pee comes out.
Well, I don't really use that thing.
Just kidding.
Use your
I
finger.
have a bag. I don't really use that thing.
That's
No,
right.
no.
Well, it's called an IUD. It's a birth control, and it's a copper birth control that is surgically implanted into the cervix. But there's so much saying that the cervix has no nerves and no feelings that they don't give women anesthesia. But when they're doing it, why are women screaming and yelling and crying that it hurts really bad? But they give no anesthetics for it.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
It's insane, yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyways, let's move away from that shit
Yeah.
because holy fuck.
We
Yeah.
got into it. We
Holy
got.
shit.
That's.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get mad.
Well,
if
let
we
me
keep
let me
talking about
update
it.
you on my week.
I'm serious because this is upsetting.
Let me update you on my week real quick, all right? Let me just go ahead and flip this motherfucker around. Because recently I was planning with Joanna just to... What, do I have something?
You have water on your mustache. I'm sorry.
You have blood on your lips.
Girl,
Damn, bro.
I need both of you to mind your own fucking business. Everything
like
you
dry
see
blood.
here is planned, all right? Si tengo un moco, just know que before I planned
It's part
it
of
there.
the fit.
It was
Exactly.
purposely implanted in there with a syringe, just on the
Mhm.
right.
Yes.
Ew.
Okay, anyways.
Whose moco was that?
Anyways, no, it wasn't mine.
It was a paid actor's.
So I was asking Joanna a couple of days ago. I was telling her, just because I feel like I'm the type of person to when I get an idea, I get really excited and I want to run with the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling Joanna, I was like, hey, we should plan out all the Christmas gifts already.
God damn.
I know,
yeah.
dude, I know. And
Fucking
so,
Christmas in July, you guys.
Fuck yeah.
and so I was like, yeah, so we can save up and get like good gifts for
gifts,
everyone,
yeah.
and that way we're not
Okay.
like last minute
I
shit like
respect
that. And so we were just talking
I
out
want a
loud.
Peloton.
Fucking, you need a Peloton, bitch. You don't just want a Peloton.
That's why
You
I'm
need
telling-
a fucking Peloton.
At this point, it's life or death. Okay, I need a Peloton.
This is a cry for. This is a
Please,
crying call, you
You
guys.
have a Peloton I can borrow, please. Let me borrow it. This is life or death at this point.
Okay, so we were talking about gifts, and I asked Joanna. I was like, okay, what would be something that you would like? Because when it comes to gifts, something for me, I don't like to give gifts that I know they're not gonna use. I find
Yeah.
it completely useless.
Useless
So
and
I
a waste of
rather
money.
ask the person, what the fuck do you want? And I will
Yeah.
give you that. Ni modo, it's not gonna be a surprise. I will give you what you want as long as I know you're using
You know
it.
what you
Because
should
then
do?
then why am I spending money for
No,
this?
you know what you should do? Ask the people that you're gonna give a gift
Uh-huh.
to give you a list of like 4 or 5 things.
Okay, that's true.
That's
Yeah,
why you
that's
get
true.
together and make a list for Santa.
Fuck Santa, man.
Fuck, if
Fuck
you're
Santa.
listening,
Santa has
if you-
missed all my calls since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
That motherfucker put me in charge. I gotta pay for these gifts.
If
Sorry
you're
about that.
listening, Santa, fuck you. Fuck.
Big May, fuck you. And Big May, fuck you. Anyways, I asked Joanna, okay, what would be something you might be interested in getting for Christmas?
Yeah.
Y se quedó pensando and she was like, oh my gosh, I think... No, actually, let me tell you exactly como me dijo. I was like, oye, babe, ¿qué quisieras para Navidad?
Yeah.
And she's like, ay, gordo, pues, ¿sabes qué, gordo? Como que se me antoja unas pulseritas, así ya sabes, como mexicanas, una diadenita de la Virgen de Guadalupe, gordo. Una pulserita de oro, gordo.
Ay, no queda nada.
Y el anillo.
Un anillo de oro, gordo.
Que diga 15 años.
And dude, I was like, I looked over at her and I was like, girl.
Why you ask?
No, I was like, girl, we are in the drive-thru line at Wiener Schnitzel right now. If I can get you those things, you really think I'd be pulling up at Wiener Schnitzel right now?
Getting the 20-pack of corn dogs.
For real, yeah.
Like $5. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, girl, we're in Wiener Schnitzel right now. We don't have that kind of money. Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're 7 months away, so I think,
That's true,
I think
that's
you got
true.
time.
We have time.
So
para
if you're
hacer una-
listening right now, I'm gonna put down in the description a GoFundMe account. No, I'm just kidding. For my BBL.
You have enough time to go make an account on Don Roberto's Jewelers and
That's
start
true.
building
That's
up
true.
some
Si
credit.
quisiera,
There
si
you go.
quisiera lo hace. Si quisiera lo hace.
Pero no quieres.
Y no quiero. Moving on. Okay, so today, you guys, we're done blue balling you, all right? We've already caught you up in our miserable shit that's going on in our lives. Yes, we know it's pathetic and sad, but you know what? You're here.
There's
you're
more to come next week.
You're here. You're logged in, all right? So we might be pathetic, but what
So
are you?
What does that say about you, huh?
No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to you guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, and follow anywhere on social media. We are Los Brownies Podcast. Okay, today we're going to talk about something que is very... Okay, so I don't know how this topic came about, but it's something que we've experienced, and I'm sure a lot of us have experienced in different ways,
Yeah.
but it just happens to be que we've experienced it in very similar ways in some way, right?
Yeah.
And so please tell the people what today's topic is.
Yeah, of
because I kind of
course.
forgot.
Today's topic is about our experiences moving from Mexico over to the United States.
Yes.
Something that I want to call the immigrant experience.
And vice versa too.
We're not immigrants. We're expats.
All of a sudden.
Oh my god.
And vice versa too, right? So let's talk a little bit about our experiences moving from the States to Mexico, and then vice versa from Mexico to the States. I know a lot of us listening, some of us have never been to Mexico, some of us can't go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Some of us would just visit Mexico, right? In our case, we're going to talk about our experience because we lived in Mexico at
For
some
a couple
point.
of years, yeah.
Yeah, for a couple of years. And then after that, we also happened to move back here to the States. And again, for different reasons, right? But I just want to talk about those experiences, right? Because at some point we had those first memories of going to Mexico, those first experiences, and then you come back and then shit's so different here in the States and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like so different over there than here, etc.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What do you
Steve.
what do you guys
We'll play Steve.
We'll play Steve. We'll play Steve.
We're gonna play Steve.
What do you guys remember? What's like something that stood out when you guys, or do you guys remember like the first time you went to Mexico?
Well, I was born in Mexico, baby.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
right.
So there was
yeah.
no going there, bitch.
So it was leaving.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the first,
Your first steps?
Or then let me ask you the other way around. Do you remember the first time you came to the States?
I do. I remember the first time I came to the States. Well, I came to, because I was born in Juarez. So I grew up there for a little bit. And then
Shout
we
out to
moved,
Benito. Benito Juarez.
we moved to El Paso. So I was living in El Paso, which is just literally bordering cities of Juarez and
What is not
the
even
United
like an
States
hour
border.
away from each other, huh?
No, it's just literally crossing the border.
Yeah.
So I lived there for a few years, like I want to say like a year and a half before we moved to Colorado. So when I was experiencing like the United States for the first time, it was in El Paso, but it was not any different because everybody still spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
I still saw like people that looked like me. I had family there. So it wasn't much different. I think the most cultural shock that I experienced was moving to Colorado because I ended up moving into a predominantly white American town.
So what would these kids tell you when you didn't speak shit in English?
Yeah, well, I had a lot of kids like come up to me. They want to talk to me, especially because I didn't know any English. So I felt like they found that cool. Later on, as an adult, I realized that I kind of felt like a circus monkey.
I was gonna say it's like monkey do like here monkey take some bread monkey now jump
Yeah.
monkey.
Can
Yes.
it jump?
Oh my god! Like, oh my god, Patricia, come here. It's look at this.
Oh my gosh, Piper, come here. We have a new student in class, and her name is Johannesburg. What did you say it was? Joanna.
Joanne?
Yeah, no, Joanna, bro. So, okay, all right.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah.
did you ever? Okay, that's what you think
I
now
had
as an older, right?
Yeah. But like at the time when I was little, I just had like such a good experience because I
Yeah.
felt like I was so accepted, and I
Yeah.
felt like that allowed me to assimilate.
Mm.
It helped me to assimilate faster because I wasn't like getting looked down upon.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting, like bullied. I wasn't like, I had a unibrow, but nobody pointed it out.
Yeah.
Like nobody
At least
made
not
fun
to
of
your
no.
face, yeah.
I would go home and like my sister would tell me like, "Ay, parece Frida Kahlo," but
Yeah.
that was like different. That's love.
Do you think it was the age? Like you guys were still kids, and like,
I think so.
there's
Yeah,
not really much of
I
a
disagree.
hatred bone in you guys.
No, I disagree.
maybe.
But
Yeah.
You're also a hateful bitch. So
No, I think it's the fact that she was able to assimilate and blend in with the white people. Because if she would have,
because she's light skinned.
no, because you just blended in with the white American culture. There are some people who are very strong with their culture and they want to keep their practices regardless of what anybody says, and that's where the issues arise.
See, but
in my opinion.
that sounds so complex though. Like we're talking about like
I was a
elementary
child. I don't think I was
students.
thinking
that's
that
what I
deep.
mean. We're
But
talking about
I do want to say like when I moved to Colorado, I was 6 years old.
Yeah,
And I was
exactly.
so little.
Ah.
I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, oh hi.
Yes, you did.
know.
Just kidding. No. I mean,
So what I was experiencing like for the first time, I was like, okay, like it was just easy for me to digest
No,
because
for sure.
like I was so little and I didn't think so much deeper than I do right now.
And I think the other kids también.
Yeah, I think
I
so
feel
too.
even
Yeah.
if they were white. Let me tell you something crazy.
Yeah.
When I was in 5th grade. What? Bitch? My bad.
I thought
it
you
wasn't spit. It
you
was the
sprayed
water in
me.
my mustache.
I
bro.
thought you skipped 5th grade, dude.
No. Okay. When
That was second grade.
I don't know what it was. I remember it so vividly. When I was in 5th grade, well, I was here in Santa Ana. We moved around a lot, right? But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, once we like stayed in one spot, it was here in Santa Ana. And this was after we came back from Mexico. I was in 5th grade and I remember it so vividly. We were talking, it was during the time we were talking about like slaves y todo eso, specifically African slaves. And then we got to a point where we started learning about like Harriet Tubman,
Mhm.
Jackie Robinson.
Work.
I would always think in my mind, like, interesting. It's just white people and it's just black people. And I always thought to myself, what am I? And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not black. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I swear to you, when I was a kid, I thought I was white.
Oh,
And we're gonna take a break.
Let me suck your titties, baby. No. Let me suck your titties, baby. Let me suck your titties, baby. Sha-da-da-da. My mama told me a long time ago, yeah, suck them fucking titties raw, baby. So I know. I used to suck titties titties fucking daily. And now them titties is gone, yeah.
I thought I was white.
Well, I mean,
I thought I was white. And it didn't help.
That makes sense though.
It didn't help. We had to take the California standards test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to put your ethnicity.
And you have to put your ethnicity and your race.
Yeah.
And I'm in 5th fucking grade, dude. Fucking hiding my boogers in my cubby. Are you serious, bro? Like,
You still do that.
there are grown adults right now who struggle identifying fucking race, ethnicity, gender, etc. You make a little 5th grader fill that shit out, and
Especially a
then
stupid
the
one.
state really take like
That data.
That data. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I remember what didn't help is that my teacher, all the kids, because this is a predominantly Mexican class.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked the teacher she was Asian. I don't know if that's even gonna affect the story or not, right? Pero she told us, well, you guys are not black kids.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are also not Asian like me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, and then no salía for us.
She was
You
probably
guys
as
are
confused.
beaners.
And she was like,
What'd you
she's
say?
like, you
beaners.
She's like, yeah, well, clearly you guys are not black students, right? And clearly you guys are not Asian like myself. It's very simple, you guys. You guys are all wetbacks. She's like, now go ahead and put a circle and write down manually wetbacks. Okay?
Where it says other and
Yeah.
back.
And it gives you the option to put a description of it, but she's like, but just put wetbacks. No, but she would always tell us, like, it's white. You guys are white.
She was probably equally
That
as
pissed me
confused.
off.
Yeah. Who knows, right?
I don't
This was-
put white.
I never put white.
Do you
I
put
never
other
put white.
wetback?
To this day, I put other wetback. No, because I believe it says white, black, Asian, Caucasian,
Pacific Islander,
Native
Native American.
and then Pacific Islander / Hawaiian. Then it has Alaska Native, and then Native American. I put Native American,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one I put Hispanic or Latino, whatever they put.
Mm-hmm.
You know that for me, for a very long time, documents like that, yo le ponía prefer not to say, because it was really upsetting. I didn't feel like any of these were meant for me.
Yeah,
And so the closest thing now that I do is I also put Native American because something and it took me a long time to be okay with this information, because I feel like it's not information being pushed out there for us to like learn, which is the fact that we are from indigenous descents,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're not us personally, right?
Yeah.
We are not physically, personally, still involved in like tribal
Indigenous tribes,
and indigenous,
no.
right?
Yeah.
But we are, and it's no lie that majority
No
of
cap.
us, it's no cap.
All facts.
It's all facts, no cap. There's no lie que we come from indigenous descent. And it
Yeah.
took me
That's
a long
right.
time to accept that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I feel like lo decía and just saying, hey, I'm Native American or I'm part indigenous, even to other people in la raza misma, in my mind, ignorant on the topic, would be like, bro, no, you're Mexican. And I'm like, you don't get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro. You don't understand what I'm saying.
No te
Yes.
enojes, no te enojes.
Ay. Sorry, producción.
We'll take a break.
Sorry.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Okay, I want to talk about something a little different from that, which is, for example, I want to start off with one experience that I had when it came to moving back from Mexico to the States.
Yeah, because we haven't really talked about us when we moved. We were both, Cheeto and I were both born in the States,
Yeah,
and we moved to Mexico.
right. So, born in the States, moved to Mexico. our experience moving to Mexico wasn't because we had to.
Like we had no option.
Well, I mean, of course we didn't have an option, right? Because our parents moved.
Right,
over
but
there.
it wasn't out of like.
The thing is that our parents usually. Okay, so growing up, our parents were considered the primary caretakers, whether it was physically or financially, to their parents. And I'm going to call out their siblings, my tíos and tías.
Si están viendo.
Yeah, si están viendo, like, me vale verga, dude. Like, straight up, dude. Diría la licenciada Pamela. Like, I'm being for real, dude. And it's unfortunate because most of my grandparents aren't here with us anymore, right? And so their flowers weren't thrown to them when they were able to smell them. You know, and so our parents were the write that motherfucking shit down right now, bitch.
Dude, Craig's asleep,
Thank you. I better hear that fucking pencil move, bitch. Anyways, damn, Craig, you look good today, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, dude.
I know.
Where'd you get that shirt, man?
Dude, Craig just bent over and then Cheeto all of a sudden se ve bien.
Craig, you know exactly why you got hired, bro.
Anyways,
stop distracting me.
You better take that juicy ass out of you.
Yeah, I mean, we're being very detailed. Craig is wearing some sweatpants that says juicy in the back. So,
that's right. My fault.
Yeah.
With the rhinestones.
He's flat back there, but his ass literally says juicy.
That's right.
Anyways, our parents were the primary caretakers of our grandparents.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Which is my dad's parent.
both my dad and my mom's. Anyways, in this specific situation, my dad's father, o sea, my abuelo, homeboy got really sick, and my dad, it couldn't just be financial taken care of.
Anymore.
It had to be physically. Isn't that so sad? It had to be I physically have to go there and take care of you, because giving you money and sending money to my siblings who are there with you in Mexico was not enough. Now I need to physically go there and do both of those. Mm-hmm. So, in most of like these traditional Mexican households, we got to follow the father.
Right.
In this case, we're still little. Here's the thing.
You had no say.
Here's the thing.
You were like 5 years old. You're not going anywhere.
Here's the thing. There's 3 of us. Me, who was like 6 years old at the time. Jesse, who was about 8 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And then our oldest sister in prison, who was about 15?
No.
13?
She was like around 10, 11.
Okay, let's call it 12. Let's call it 12.
12.
Let's call it 12.
12.
So we have a 12-year-old, we have an 8-year-old, and we have a 6-year-old, right? The 3 of us. Same experience, whole different journey for each of us.
Yeah.
Whole different journey.
Well, one of them's in prison, so there you go.
Exactly, yeah.
That's one journey, right?
And so let me speak specifically about moving back to the States.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Before we do that, like, real quick, summarize, like, how was your experience going to school in Mexico? And,
that's true. That's true. We got to start from the beginning.
Yeah,
you guys.
before we go flip-flap.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, I tend to be a person who gets very carried away, and I want to run with something and an idea and a thought, and then I lose track.
I know. We're to help you.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Yes,
I appreciate you guys.
Just real quick. It doesn't have to go too detailed or anything if you don't want to.
No. I don't mind. I don't give a fuck. You know me.
Oh, damn.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I do give a fuck. I give a lot of fucks.
His life was so fun.
So you guys moved back to Mexico, or you guys moved to Mexico when you were like 6
I was like,
years
I was like
old.
5 or 6.
That's around the time that I moved over
my
here.
God.
Which is,
Yeah, and then I actually ended up moving back when I was in middle school, and I stayed there for like a year and a half because my grandpa got sick. So it was like for the same thing. Yeah.
And my experience over there in Mexico, it was interesting because I remember the very second we stepped foot to where like my grandparents lived. I don't remember the process it took for us to get there, but I do remember meeting one of my cousins who him and I are in the same age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like, dude, like to me this just felt like we went across the city.
Because we would go visit Mexico pretty often. So it's not like these are brand new people that we're seeing for the first time. Like, we are very used to our cousins and uncles' faces.
Yeah.
And you know, all their wives left them. So there were no tias. But it was just more of a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, okay, I got to stop ranting. Let me just get straight to the nitty-gritty. My experience going to school in Mexico.
Yeah.
And, first, me pegaban.
Sick.
Immediately me
¿Quién te
pegaban.
pegaba?
The teachers.
What?
They can.
The teachers
I already
hit
know
me.
this.
The teachers would hit me. And I was also, I think that's where I started to, but apart from school experience, let me move away from that. My experience living in Mexico. Oh my goodness, dude. Just like you, I felt like I had to like assimilar
Yeah, you had to
to
assimilate
the
back.
environment.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so much fucking fun.
I was
Because
just
it
gonna
was
say, yeah.
a whole different life.
It's different when you assimilate back into your own culture than when you assimilate to a different one.
oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I wouldn't even call it assimilate to your own culture.
That's
then.
true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It
just-
was so much fun because you have so much liberty as a kid in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was same thing. Like I'm gonna butt in a little bit. I have nothing but great memories, both in school
Yeah.
and living in Mexico as a kid. I don't remember, and I remember like, well, I know that it was hot and humid year round.
Yeah.
But I think I don't remember that ever bothering me as a kid. It wasn't
know.
until I was a teenager in high school that I'm like, this is hot. But as a kid,
Okay, Paris.
I know. It's so
That's
hot.
hot.
It never bothered me. I had such a great time. I have nothing but great and happy memories
Yeah.
of going to school in Mexico and
And being around your family, dude.
being around our family.
Like
and
your
I made-
neighbors,
I
literally.
made a lot of friends.
La comida.
Yeah. I think we say la combi. I'm like, también la
Dude, la
combi.
combi también.
También la pinche combi. La
You know,
mexicana.
I want to point something out también is that, and I want to know how this experience was with you.
Uh-huh.
Because okay, so growing up here in the States, so different, obviously, besides
Yeah.
the lifestyle. Let me just bring up financial shit. Here in the States, I would always hear my dad complain, like, this is a miserable life. I wish we were living over there.
I have right here that
for
says
real.
money problems.
Yeah.
Less money, more issues.
And so I would always, you know, we're used to hearing my dad just be like, fuck, like, you know,
Both
El
my
dinero,
parents.
I'm gonna
dinero,
try
yeah.
to
I
figure
know.
it out.
I know
right?
it's not their fault. And they had probably no intention, but honestly, I think that had haunted me. And I made it a mission of mine to make sure I don't live that lifestyle. Que diga, ay, no tengo dinero. I still do.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad.
Right.
And
They also had kids.
I don't have a single soul. So
You-
that's very helpful.
Okay, so what I was gonna say was, I would hear my dad, especially my dad, because my dad obviously was the, like I said, traditional Mexican household, the breadwinner of the family, todo eso, and so I can't even imagine, 3 kids and a wife and a whole house to take care of. Okay, well, in our case, an apartment,
A whole, not even an
a whole
apartment, dude.
apartment room.
A room
I was gonna say a whole one bed. A whole one bed.
Yeah,
for all five.
For all 5 of us.
Five of you guys,
It
yeah.
was pretty bad.
but I never heard that in Mexico.
Yes.
Never,
so true.
never. Money was never an issue.
Oh, that
Health
is
problems
so-
were never an issue.
Yeah, all of a sudden, dude, my dad bien mareado aquí, and then va para Mexico, and en la maca bien a gusto, dude. Oh,
Con una pinche corona. Or like, and then all of a sudden, being back in the States, he has like a whole box of pills he has to take.
yeah.
Oh
And
my
it's just
god.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No
don't
es
know.
vida aquí, dude.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you is, with your experience, how was the financial experience here compared to like over there in Mexico?
Well, here in the United States, it was tough because it was just my mom.
Yeah.
So it was like my older sister, me, and my mom.
Shout out all the single moms.
I
out
know,
there.
shout out. So it was very tough for her. We actually, when we moved to Colorado, we had a family that, not our like family, but we had like family friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they let us stay at their house for, I want to say like half a year before my mom was able to like save up money, and she got a
Like rent-free?
like a mobile home. I don't remember. I don't remember asking.
You mean?
But we used to live
You
with
mean
them.
you weren't keeping track of these receipts? I mean, girl, come on. How
were not keeping-
irresponsible of you.
You were not keeping finances of your mother's
I know.
purchase.
What if you would have gotten audited that year?
Oh my goodness.
You would have had to pay double.
Oh my god, yes. I have a story to
Yeah.
tell
Okay,
you
tell me,
guys.
tell me,
So
tell me.
when I was
The tea is hot and piping.
Tell
so
me,
when
tell
I
me.
was, I want to say like second grade, I was like learning English. Like I learned like a lot of English, but there was still some words that I didn't understand. There were no teachers that spoke Spanish, so I had my
Shout out.
friends that would translate for me. All my other Mexican friends. So shout out to them.
Shout out to all the kid translators.
Oh
that
my God,
As
yeah.
kids,
Had the family on their backs, dude.
Yeah,
as kids, you
I
have
had
to
a family
trans-
on their big fucking
their
bags.
big bags.
Dude.
Even second graders with big fucking bags, dude. Ain't nobody safe out here with these big
Kids-
bags.
So when I was younger, I had my best friend at the time, she was my translator.
Okay.
Because I barely like spoke. I knew some English, but not all the way.
Yeah.
And I remember we were in recess and we were like on the swings. I remember we were just like swinging and we were just talking. And then she told me that her parents are really worried because they saw ice in Colorado. And it was like so shocking. And she was just saying how like they were worried because, you know, they don't have papers and like it's so worrisome. Like she might have to move.
What grade was this in?
This was in like second grade.
Ay, pobrecita.
And how old
la
were you?
niña.
I want to say I
Like
was like
7?
7.
And you knew when she said ice, you knew what that was?
I had no idea. I was like, hielo? Palagua? I was like so clueless, but I was hearing her out because she was like almost crying.
Yeah.
Because she's like, yeah.
That's so much
I
stress
think
for a 7-year-old.
Yeah, she's like, creo que nos vamos a tener que ir. Like, estamos bien preocupados. Like, she would tell me in Spanish because obviously, like, that's what I would speak. And then she told me, like, oye, ¿tú no estás preocupada? Like, no estás preocupada? ¿Tienes papeles? And I was like, papeles? I'm like
servilleta?
I was like, dude, yeah.
yeah.
The whole day I went home and I asked my mom, like, ¿tenemos papeles? And like, I think I asked her, like, ¿tenemos papel? She's like, oh, en el baño.
She's like, ¿para la boca o para el culo?
Tenemos a las dos.
Porque el que quieras, cabrón, a las dos ocupas.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the first time that I was like, what?
Was that, what do you call those moments? Well,
Like moments of realization.
Yeah.
reality checks?
Reality
Do you call them that?
Yeah,
Reality
I
checks?
guess so, yeah.
Eye-opening moments.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I never knew like
Yeah.
what that meant.
Yeah.
And then like
It's
I-
truly a privilege.
it really is. Yeah, because I mean we had our residency.
Yeah.
So for me it was like nothing to worry about. But like
Yeah.
I saw how she expressed herself and like her family, and it would just like break my heart because I'm like, why am I not experiencing the same things? And like, why do you not have like what I have? You know, it was just kind of a moment
It's
of
a
like,
lot,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand it at the time, but I did know that she did end up having to move away. So
Aw.
I do want to point out something también.
That's so hard.
Que, we're not going to spend this whole episode saying like, fuck the United States.
No.
Y todo eso, because another reality that it's just the reality. Yes, there is no doubt that the United States has some fucked up history. They have, I want to say, the most fucked up shits
Well,
that I've
they're
ever
the
learned
Germans
about.
too.
That's true.
But the Germans are
But hold
actually
up.
sorry.
Anyways,
You
right?
ask some people in the States
There's
right now.
no doubt that the United States has some trash history. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Pero mi raza, there's also no doubt que, at least for me,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of us can understand that, right? Usually I'm like, hey, fuck the States. You know, they're so corrupted, this and that, y todo eso.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But I can't imagine my life going the direction it is right now here in the States. I can't imagine this course of my life happening the same way in Mexico. I don't doubt that in Mexico I could have been just as much or more successful than I am here in the States. But I also feel like I would have had to go through a more difficult time trying to reach that. So if I have one obstacle here in the States, I think in Mexico I would have 4 obstacles.
yeah.
And all I'm trying to say is that in Mexico, sí se puede raza. Y aquí in the States, it's just a lot easier for us to do that. And I want to just acknowledge that real quick here in
Yeah.
the States. So I'm a very proud person to be Mexican American.
Yeah.
And I say specifically Mexican American because I'm not going to say like we don't fit in over there and we don't fit in here. Because it's not really the case. 'Cause I feel fine here. I feel like I fit in here.
And you feel fine over there.
And I feel fine over there también.
Yeah.
Now, if I go to fucking Maine over, like fucking here in the States, oh, you better believe I don't feel fine there.
In
Maine,
Maine?
USA.
In Maine, USA.
Main Street, USA in Disneyland? That's your land right there. In Maine.
And
Portland, Maine.
that's what I mean. And I hope I'm being clear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah.
think you would fit in New Jersey?
Jersey.
in
I
New
feel like I
Jersey?
would fit in Jersey.
I don't know.
I feel like 2000s Jersey. That's where I'd be
Like,
at.
yeah.
bump it year.
Yeah, like spray tan, like gym tan laundry.
Oh, okay.
I think those are Long Island people.
Well, I was still in Jersey.
It's
though.
still Jersey though.
You know what? I cannot confirm nor deny. Don't come for me.
That's true.
Don't
That's
come
We'll
true.
for
blame
me.
the U.S. education system. Okay, geography
right.
is not our strong suit.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so sad to hear about your friend that eventually she
sad.
moved, and you
Yeah.
know, like it makes me. Not a lot of things touch my heart, but children that have to go through.
Or you. Not a lot of things touch you.
Yeah. You know, it's really sad. It's very unfortunate. And look, I'm not a fan of kids. I've made it very clear. But that doesn't mean they deserve that. Those
Yeah.
who are here on Earth doesn't mean they deserve that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
humanitarian area. We love that.
I'm on my humanitarian.
That's right.
era.
There.
Don't donate to my OnlyFans
I love it.
to myfeetfinder.com.
That's right. Fucking
You know what, like,
crusty ass
you know-
feet, dude.
You know what my goal
FYI,
is?
Jesse's feet parecen bolillos quemados, dude.
A huevo, dude. When they're
Anyway,
dirty. When
what'd
they're
you notice?
dirty.
A ver, what'd you notice? What'd you notice?
I have a goal. We should all have this goal.
Okay. Lose
that,
weight.
that we become so famous that our feet are on celebrityfeets.com. Isn't that the dream?
Mine
Just
will be under the section of hongos and juanetes. Find mine there.
That's right.
Mine would be under the section wide feet.
Mine would be under the section of
Flat feet, dude.
No, of
Cankles.
no.
Bunions.
That's a 2-for-1. The feet and the ankles.
And the bunions.
Okay, now I'll take
Ingrown
those.
toenails.
I'll take those. I'll take those.
Curved
Hairy
nails.
toes.
Okay, so before I forget,
Yeah.
Shrek feet.
when I moved here, when we moved here to the States, I remember, and I want to talk about, you know, the whole like having that one student assigned.
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah.
Again, shout out to the student translators.
Aw.
When I moved here to the States, I remember I was still in elementary school, and so I was at an age where, you know, you can take a kid to fucking Santa Ana and then take them the next day to New York, and they could possibly still even think they're still in Santa Ana,
Yeah.
right? I was at that age.
Yeah.
And so moving from Mexico back to the States, I remember walking into class and the teacher asked me, "Do you speak English?" And I said, "Sí."
You weren't lying.
Because my experience when I went from the States to Mexico was when when I approached the teacher, I asked her a question in English, and she said, "Oh, mijo, aquí se habla español." And then that's when I started shifting all of that. So then
You were
from
very
Mexico,
used to-
so from Mexico back to the States, they asked me in English, but I'm so used to it because the teacher was like, "Mijo, aquí es español, mijo."
You reply everything in
And
Spanish.
so she was like, "Do you speak English?" And I was like, "Sí." And I spoke a little bit, and I understood it, but I did speak very, very much of it. Little much of it, that makes sense. Little much. Clearly,
You haven't improved.
I had some English language barriers, and so she asked me, and I said "sí" en español. After that, no more questions.
Game
She didn't question anything else. She didn't try to figure anything else. Immediately, she just assigned the student to translate everything for me. But I knew how to speak English, and I understood it.
That's crazy that your teacher never even like within 2 weeks to be like check up on you like, hey, how are you doing?
Right. And
Like,
she...
and
I
then-
mean, I'm not bashing the teacher. I don't give a shit.
No, but it just shows how like
Yeah.
how it just works. Like,
Right.
She must
And-
not be the only one.
And you
Maybe
might,
she didn't
and
know
for
what
those,
to do.
and for those thinking like, well, fool, like, how come you didn't just fucking tell them, bro, I speak English? What the fuck? Because at that age, this is how I felt. I felt like as soon as she said, "Okay, let me have someone translate for you," because we have a new student who only speaks Spanish, so everyone be nice to him, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Fun fact: they were not all nice to me.
Sick.
And that's crazy because look, same experience with you, right? Like you got there, they were all like, "Whoa, that's so cool," and they were all white
What
kids.
is that?
And for me, it was
That's
all
how they
it was all
treated me.
Latino
They're like,
kids,
"Dance
and they were
monkey."
not nice to me.
No, that
They
happened
were-
to me when
it be your own,
when I
dude.
moved back
It
when
be
I was
your
in middle
own.
school. That
Uh-huh.
happened to me. What
That's
you're
crazy.
experiencing, that happened to me too. It really be your own.
No seamos así, raza. Like
I
we already
know.
have external factors outside of our own that hate us. We can't hate ourselves, dude.
Exactly.
That's not it.
And so let me
Yeah,
just
yeah,
finish.
continue.
Let me finish that real quick. the reason why I never spoke up and actually said like, "Oh yeah, profe, like, come on, like, no seas mamona." Of course, I speak English.
Of course, I speak it English.
The reason why I never said that is because as soon as she told the class I'm a Spanish speaker, I felt like she automatically labeled me as that, and I just kind of like
You
took
accepted
it
Go with
and
it.
I
Yeah.
accepted it. Yeah, exactly. And so that one kid that would translate everything for me,
Yeah.
that motherfucker, he was the only one I told, "Okay, I speak English." I was like, "Bro," I speak English, bro. And he was like, "You stupid bitch. Like, you're making me put fucking extra work. I got to do my work and then I got to help you with yours." And I'm like, I didn't say no.
He's not going to school to
I know,
learn.
bro,
He's
yeah.
going to school to clock
Yeah,
in.
homeboy was clocking in, dude.
Homeboy was a single mother, dude.
And so that one student, it's so funny because I remember he tried to tell the teacher like, "Yo, like Miss
T.
Yeah, Miss T. He speaks English. He speaks to me in English." She's like, "You gotta translate. Like, we don't really understand him."
You know what? That kind of shows como no le hacen caso a los niños.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I always say,
And then-
again, going back to kids,
yeah.
I always say that, yes, kids are annoying this and that, but when they actually want to like talk to you, like listen, they at the end of the day, they're little humans. You know,
Yeah.
if they need to say something, like, come on, dude, like hear them out.
Oh.
No, but then they come up to you and like your little nephew.
Yeah.
Joanna's little nephew for the longest time, dude. Hablaba like that one character from that one Nickelodeon show.
Which one?
This family, they explore, and he has like funky dreadlocks, and he has like
Oh, the Wild Thunder.
yeah, and he's like, and Jesse's advice, you guys just sit down and listen. Fucking
Those who speak proper languages.
yeah. Let's be a little bit more clear there, okay? We got a lot of loopholes in there.
You know, you're always here to humble me. I
That's
appreciate
right.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
You're always here. Every time I say something, you find the loophole,
That's right.
and we're here to
Yeah.
just call it out. Thank you.
Okay.
Damn.
What ended up what like happened to that kid?
I don't know, dude. If you're watching, bro, like
Sorry.
hit
My bad.
my line up, bro. We'll see what we can
Let's go
work
get some
out.
coffee or
Some free
something.
merch or something if you want. But overall, I feel like the experience here in the States and versus the experience in Mexico, I always felt a lot more. I don't want to say joyful because I feel like I'm happy here, but I'm also happy over there.
Yeah.
Pero I just we didn't grow up with our like family close here physically.
No.
And so
Like, it was
having
only
that
just
experience over there,
us.
so different.
Yeah.
So different over there. So yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it over there. Well, for one, because
In Mexico.
in Mexico, because when I think of like food, like I
Yeah.
trust it so much more over there than the processed food here.
Yeah.
Like
To this day, dude.
yeah, no, yeah,
To
yeah.
this day.
And so in Mexico, of course, as you all can tell, in Mexico, I was very, very thin.
Put a
And-
picture of Cheeto being thin in Mexico right here.
That was me in Mexico. And then I came back to the States and then look, are you like fucking serious, bro? First of all, the red flag is that I'm an Angels fan. The second red flag is that I was so scared that there was not going to be more food left for me to eat that I decided to get both hot dog and a hamburger.
Hey, you know what? Better safe than sorry, am I right?
But hold up. With Craig, with the picture still right here, better safe than sorry. I was still mad because my mom me dijo like, bro, like no seas pinche goloso, one at a time. And mira mi puta cara, dude. I was so mad because I wanted to get two of each. Now that's disgusting.
No. Better safe than sorry. All right.
Better safe than sorry.
You want to know disgusting? Let me tell you something.
A ver.
Stop pointing at me.
So when I was in Colorado, I would eat. Yo cenaba with like my family like at 5-6 p.m. right, like early in the day, and we would like sit around. We'd watch TV. You know, that was like our thing, right?
Yeah.
We would like to
Just spend
eat
quality
and
time.
yeah, exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, and then after I was done eating, I would hang out with one of my neighbors from like behind my house, right?
Yeah.
And every time I would go over, it would be during the time that they were gonna eat dinner.
Ah, you little fucking rascal.
Maldita
Golosa.
abusadora.
My fat ass.
Si supiera tu madre, dude, Ahorita
Dude, yeah, to this day no
hincada tu
sabe.
madre, dude. Hincada pidiéndole
confiesa.
perdón a Dios.
Confiésale a tu madre ahorita lo que pasaba.
A ver. Go ahead.
Dude, yo me chingaba like a big ass plate con mis arroz, frijoles, tortillas.
En tu pinche
en mi
morisqueta,
casa,
¿no?
yeah.
Dude, tu
Amá,
mamá bien preocupada.
I don't-
Habrá suficiente para mi niña, bla,
Yeah.
bla.
Mamá, no hay más.
For real. And then I'd finish, wipe my mouth with my napkin, set it down like, okay, mami, voy a ir a jugar con mis amigas.
Voy a quemar las calorías, mamá.
And I'd go to my friend's house and they'd already have a plate for me waiting.
She lived that double life.
Damn, dude.
Dude, I would eat twice.
Give me your age. How old were you around this time?
I was like 10, 11.
You were a whole ass.
I had a double life.
No, you were a whole ass like husband who's been cheating on the wife with the whole second family.
I had a
Dude,
second family.
I can imagine, you are on that age, walking in without knocking, like putting your coat on the coat rack.
yeah,
your
Putting on my
kids.
shoes.
Yeah, like, oh, long day today, you guys. All right, let's get to eat. Golosa.
Hey, better
Yeah,
safe
dude.
than sorry, am I right?
Oh
true.
my
Better
God.
safe than sorry. That's
That
so
was
funny.
great. I would eat 2 dinners
Okay.
in one day.
For me, a lot of stuff, like when I was in Mexico, life was great. Like I'd mentioned, it was really
Sick.
fun. I felt like I was very popular for the sense that we were Americans. And so I almost saw people saw me as like,
Superior.
Yeah, riquilla.
superior, and I hated that feeling. I hated it so much because all I wanted to do was just be
Blend
like
in
you
and
guys.
be in.
Yeah.
They put you in a pedestal.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
just so to this day. Actually, I had an experience at work. I won't get specific where I work, but I work with a lot of C-level executives.
Okay.
Shout
Don't know
out.
what that means, but go ahead.
Like very high people in power.
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Of course.
Yes. Very like no one's above them.
Sea level?
Sea
Sea level?
Like cunt level.
Okay.
Yes.
I was on a whole different ocean side of sea level. Okay. Okay.
Sea level.
I am actually very glad you clarified that.
Yeah. So like, there's very few to know people above them. So
Okay.
I remember one time we went to a meeting, we all came back, and there was another person. I don't know who the fuck this guy was. We were making fun of him because he looked like Bono, like from the U2 singer. So we're like, there's Bono. But anyways, and we were all walking together, and this guy was like, oh, here comes the powerful department. And he went like that. And I swear to you, if this was just a free-for-all world, I would have slapped him so hard in the face and like, you better shut the fuck up right now. I don't like when people make me feel superior to them.
I hate that too.
I
hate that too.
Yeah.
I ain't
I
shit,
hate
you
that.
guys.
I ain't shit, you ain't shit. Because guess what? You and I go take a shit in the same restroom.
That's right.
And actually, our shits are all going to stink the same way. That's how I see the world.
Okay.
And
so poetic.
Craig, come on. We got the cheers out. Write that fucking shit down. Thank you. Better
so
hear
it
that
was-
fucking
so
pencil
That
move.
was one of the issues I struggled a lot as a kid. They made me feel like I was superior to
But
them.
do you
And
blame them though?
I don't blame them. No, y luego, I mean, Mexico is such a colorist society to this day. People
Yeah.
subconsciously see white or Eurocentric.
Yeah,
and
like,
they're like,
la güerita.
and they're automatically, subconsciously, they're better than us. And
Pedestal.
I think that's why sometimes people as a kid gave me this kind of superior thing.
Yeah.
Van a decir que mamona.
I know.
No, but it's true.
It's very true, and I hated that so much.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was just be like you guys. And I remember we had a party.
Everyone. You guys, she's so humble. She just wants to be like you.
I just wanted to blend in.
O sea, ustedes como los pobres. Is what you. I just want to be like you guys and live in my little humble hut of a home. I'm just joking.
No, yeah.
We're gonna take a break.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Can I say something, guys? Can I say something right now?
Controversial?
Me cae tan gordo un pinche mocoso entrometido, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I know.
Drag 'em. Que estemos hablando tú y yo y si un chamaco ya jugando y que venga y diga, escuché que estaban hablando de McDonald's, van a ir, yo quiero ir. A ti no te estoy hablando, hijo de tu chingada madre. Vete para allá. El Happy Meal es mío, no tuyo, culero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's
that.
true. That's true.
Anyways, what, do I have a moco?
No, I'm sorry. It's because I thought of this video. I saw a video and they were recording a little kid, like a 4-year-old, and he was smoking a cigarette.
Oh my God.
My
He was just
favorite.
like walking around in Mexico.
Let me tell you, when I was
or
a
like
kid.
the little kid in Mexico que está haciendo Uber. No pasa nada, oiga.
when I,
Con la licencia de Dios, todo se puede.
when I lived in Mexico, there was this one building that was abandoned for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And usually in those abandoned buildings, when they've been vacant for that long, se empieza a meter a bunch of murciélagos, which
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah.
are bats, a bunch of bats,
Yeah.
right? And so all these pinches murciélagos everywhere, right? Because it was also really, really dark, super old and abandoned, the building.
Yeah, it
perfect
tripped me out when
environment.
it tripped me out when I found out that there's bats in Mexico. I don't know why. Like I
And-
never expected it there.
And
They should be in Transylvania.
I was
Exactly.
yeah. I was this is part of those memories that I really enjoyed in Mexico, being over there, because there's a lot less adult supervision because they're too busy living their life and being happy with the
Of
community.
course,
todo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pero then again, like the community is also like even the kids are also looking out for each other. Todo
Yeah,
eso, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Y si
Okay.
algo pasa,
Anyways.
siempre un chamaco knows exactly where to go.
And
Y a decirles, and so.
So we were in that building, and it was a bunch of us. It was like 7 of us, little mocosos. And I wasn't that old. I was like 7, 8 years old, dude. You know me. I only had my fucking shorts on. No underwear, of course.
No.
Only shorts on.
No
No
shirt.
shirt. No shoes.
No service.
And, we all had our, ¿cómo se llama? En español, ¿cómo se dicen?
Ay, no me acuerdo, chico.
¿Resoltera?
¿Resortera?
Something like that, right? ¿Resoltera?
Ya, si saben español mejor que nosotros, recuérdenos.
I don't know what I forgot. Anyway, I'll just say slingshot, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, and we had those slingshots because we were trying to kill the bats.
Sick. Wow,
Like,
animal abuse.
someone would be like,
Call
"Okay, you
Peter.
guys ready?" Boom! Loud clap. The bats would move, and
Like
we
they
would all be
fly.
like,
Dude, like video game status, huh?
"Yeah." And then one mocoso, he told us, "Hey, let's meet up in the hidden place." Okay, we all meet up. They fucking have a newspaper. They chop it off and give it into pieces, and they roll it. And one of them has a lighter, and he's like, "We're gonna smoke cigarettes today."
Oh, damn.
And everyone has their own little rolled up newspaper. And then we all start like, dude, and I was like, jefita, acaba de tragar.
I said, a partir de hoy ya soy hombre. And we were talking about abortions earlier. Let me just go real
Wait, hold
back.
on. I have another one. I have another one. Jefita, ¿dónde están las chelas?
Que yo, a partir de hoy ya maduré. I was going to say we were talking about abortions earlier, and I would just want to say that we're big advocates of tu cuerpo, tu decisión. Right? So
Well-
es mi cuerpo,
Well,
mi decisión. Y mi decisión con mi cuerpo hoy es no bañarme. Porque el agua es para las plantas y el jabón es para la ropa. Así que aguanten, cabrones.
that's right.
That's right, okay.
Okay.
Ahorita no me voy a bañar. I did actually shower this morning.
Nice,
Yes,
sick.
thank you, thank you.
You sure?
Oh, wait. Yeah, look. I got a little musty smell right now.
I'm using natural deodorant. Please respect my privacy right now.
Jesus,
My
fuck.
privacy.
Okay, anyways, let me
Yeah.
finish that story.
Yeah.
We rolled up.
For real.
We rolled up the fucking newspaper and we lit it up and we started smoking it. And we swear in our lives we thought we were smoking cigarettes.
Oh,
We're
my
smoking
God.
like old ink in with
Dude,
nasty.
why you have a fatty liver, dude? It was because of that.
That's why you can't breathe at night, dude.
No, bro, that's why I need the oxygen tank.
The sleep apnea machine.
That's right.
No. That's what you mean.
Oh, my
that's
God.
so funny. I went into school for the first time. I was walking into like 5th grade, I believe.
Okay.
So that's
You
what I
mean
was.
you were rolling into 5th
That's
grade?
right. Yeah, I was rolling in the deep. No. And so I was rolling into 5th grade. And I remember the teacher, they had told her.
I love how you actually said you're rolling
Yeah.
in fucking sick.
Are you
dude.
not satisfied? I'm trying to adapt my language so this motherfucker's happy. And
okay,
he's
go
still
ahead,
not
go
happy.
ahead.
So I rolled into the 5th grade, and they had already told my teacher que yo vine de Mexico.
Oh.
So very similar to what happened with you. They
They
placed
put
me.
this bias in her mind.
Yeah, so they already placed me with the other wetbacks together where they did not speak English.
Yeah.
So they were reading these books called the Amelia Benelia books or Amelia.
Amelia.
Is that what it's called?
No clue.
Amelia Benelia.
Craig, can we find it?
Can I
Oh,
search it?
maybe that one right there?
Amelia something.
Bedelia.
Amelia.
Amelie.
Amelia Bedelia.
Yes, the books.
Yeah, their children's book.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it brings me back. I didn't even know how I remember this.
Amelia Bedelia. Oh.
But those were books that are meant for like 1st graders, and we're in 5th grade. So a lot of these kids duraban like half the day to read it.
Yeah.
Pero yo me chingaba like 3 or 4 within the day because I knew how to speak English. So for me, like when we moved to Mexico, I was already like in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So yo ya sabía a little bit. Plus we would go. We had the privilege of going and coming a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of our cousins were born in the States. Íbamos a Mexico también. And my older sister knew English. So it was,
I did.
I never lost it. I
did.
I think he did, but I never lost it. So yeah, and they're like, "Oh, did you?" And the teacher would be like, "Did you read this one book?" I'm like, "I read all of these," and she's like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "Am I?
I'm a star.
Am
Am I different?
What is it? Am I honors? Like, what's going on? So academically, I never had an issue.
That's the complete
Socially-
opposite
Yeah.
of what happened to me.
And then the teacher was like, "Oh, okay, then never mind. Then join us." And I'm like, sick. I'm like, fucking peasants. No, no, cierto. No.
I see losers.
Yeah, I made it out, bitches, losers. No. And so, yeah. And I mean, eventually, like, we were in the same cohort, and eventually it was nice to
Yeah.
see that a lot of those kids improved. And it took a little bit of time. And I learned a lot writing with that teacher. Now that I remember, she would take the time. It was a white teacher. I forgot her name, but we were going to school in Anaheim at the time. Y ella se sentaba conmigo to be like, hey, because I would turn in like paragraphs and they were all just one giant run-on sentence. She's like, you need punctuation in this bitch. So she helped me out and everything. It was great. I learned a lot from her.
Shout out to those teachers
Shout out-
that actually
yeah.
take the time.
Yeah, shout out to them because I wouldn't take the time. Yeah.
Although I get it because, you know,
Did-
you're severely underpaid. So.
Yeah. No. But
Did
she
you-
was great.
Did you ever experience anything when you moved from Mexico to Colorado? Did you ever experience having to be placed into like a different class?
Yeah.
Or they immediately? Oh, okay.
No, yeah, they had like all the beaners in one class. But it was like, again, it was taught by a white teacher. So
Yeah.
it was like there was no really like translating. We would just rely on each other to kind of like figure it out. And there were
crazy.
kids that like knew more English than others. Like for example, like everybody there knew more English than me, but it just kind of like I don't remember like what came out of it. I just remember we would get taken out of class and it was like all 5 of us beaners in one class just reading books with the teacher.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you know, no disrespect to white teachers at all, but it's very difficult to, and I'm sure it might be even difficult for like white teachers when you have like 4 students who are from Mexico, Guatemala, wherever they're at, and no saben hablar en inglés, and you don't know how to speak Spanish, so it must be difficult for the teacher. So shout out to them, but I think that's why it's important to have an inclusive classroom. But anyways,
Yeah. For me, I immediately, coming into the States, immediately, no questions asked, immediately was placed with those
like ESL.
ESL, except that it wasn't like a full-time thing. It wasn't like I was only in ESL. It was like I was with like the main class. And then whoever was in charge of that shit, me sacaban from the class.
I will say one of the last things for me that I found really, again, academically wise, didn't have an issue. Socially wise, I didn't have an issue either because we were very fortunate. We lived in Anaheim and then we also lived in Santa Ana, which have a lot of Mexican community to be exact. So I never felt excluded like Joanna did. That happened to me in college, which is
Sick.
very painful to go through that as an adult. But as a kid,
All that pain she carries still with her back.
that's
Through their back.
It's still lingering in there.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I don't have any last minute thoughts anymore, other than saying, I think I'm very proud to be Mexican American.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to talk about our experiences
Yeah.
growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very proud at everything that our parents were able to do for us.
Yeah.
And a huge
We're very
shout out to all of
fortunate
them.
to be in the position that we
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we should be very proud of everything we have accomplished as
Yeah.
individuals.
Yes.
But
a lot
before
of hard work and everything.
Yeah. And so before we close out, this week's shout out goes to this individual right here who went out of their way to come bring us samples.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing.
It
Not
wasn't
just
sample. They were like
yeah,
were
no,
real
that
size,
was-
yeah.
that was a real deal. And so this week's shout out, we're gonna give it to Charlie's Brew. This is their Instagram page, you guys. Check them out, give them a follow. This individual, you guys, her name is Amber. Amber came all the way from LA over here to Santa Ana, specifically downtown Santa Ana. What's up, represent? And she brought us a whole bunch of her product. And oh my goodness, you guys.
Yes.
She was telling us that she has years of experience making coffee.
and it was
It
delicious.
was really good.
It was
Which
so
one was your
good.
favorite one?
I really liked them all. She gave us like
The matcha?
the matcha
The
and then the Spanish coffee.
Mhm.
And then there was like coffee with sweet vanilla.
Yes.
They were all super good.
My favorite one was the matcha. I'm a matcha girly.
matcha girly,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm not much of a coffee fan. I'm sorry. I'm more of a tea person, but matcha, that's where my heart's at.
I would have to say for me, the Spanish coffee was so fucking
Yeah.
good. Oh my goodness. Check out Charlie's Brew. This is, like I said, their Instagram. DM them, ask them for any sort of request, ask them for prices. Amber delivers. And so,
Shout out.
hit them up, communicate with them, let them know that Los Brownies podcast sent you over. Let them know that you heard about her here through us, because a huge shout out to Charlie's Brew, a huge shout out to Amber. We're going to go ahead and close out today's episode
Yep.
with giving you guys our social media accounts. If you don't follow them, please. If you guys don't mind, it would mean a lot if you guys have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel. It would really, really help out a lot. We want to keep doing this. I would absolutely love to keep doing this and provide more content for everyone. Big thank you to everyone who's been listening and taking the time to message us and letting us know that you like the episode. So check us out on Instagram, on TikTok. We post some of the best, funnier, serious moments of the whole episode. You can find us at Los Brownies Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok, on YouTube as well. Once again, that's at Los Brownies Podcast. Thank you once again to everyone and to my lovely co-hosts right here. Ya váyanse a la verge. Váyanse a bañar, apestan.
Me and my big